as well as other league challenge all the way up and through the World Cup. Right now, we are going to start off with the game seen around the world. Probably one of the most viewed matches of the new year, which was really dope. So, uh, after the Manchester City Liverpool, after the uh, match for the AFCON final with Senegal as well as Morocco, you have this match, which had around 190 million viewers. So it's really dope to,
Damn.
yeah. Football is just it's huge. Uh, easily surpasses over like the Super Bowl things like that. So, but everybody got to see the capitulation for Arsenal versus Manchester City. Arsenal won, Manchester City 2. TC,
Yep.
uh, outside of just saying the banter, the banterous verbiage, bottling, and just not like
Yep.
what were your thoughts, especially because you gave a really strong rallying cry the last time that we were on.
Yeah, mate. Look, I think a little bit of disappointment. I think what you really have seen is that City have essentially clicked up a gear, and that's to no fault of Arsenal's. I think they have just been down this road a few times in the last few years, and Pep knows exactly what to get out of his squad. Semenya and Ryan Cherokee are hitting their strides at the right time. Those are both reinforcements they have brought in, both reinforcements that have done really well. And really, what you're seeing is like the final boss. Essentially, like they've literally hit final boss status, and that's no fault to Arsenal. I think coincidentally, all we've been talking about the whole season with Arsenal is that do they have the mental fortitude to get over the losses that puts them in a stead to push on for these games? And what we see now is back to back losses is a little bit of that mental fortitude. The skills are still there, but now it's about the mental fortitude to get the ball, your foot in the right place, your body in the right place, your mind focused all the time without thinking, am I going to fuck up? Am I going to cost the championship? And I think that's playing a little bit into the boys' minds because what you have is, I think, is just a little bit of scarcity. The whole time we've seen City and Arsenal play, not once have I ever seen Arsenal look like that. I mean, to be fair, I think, the goal was very lucky, let's be honest, like a bit of a fuck up. But I think there were, it just isn't been the same Arsenal. Now, I don't know what that is. You can talk about players or resources or whatever, but I really think it comes down to mental ability at this time and moment when you need yourself to be, we call it BMT, big match temperament, right? And what you're seeing is, I think you're just lacking a little bit of that at the moment, and that's costing us.
Yeah, I can't really refute anything that you're saying right now. One little tweak I would say is Arsenal have beaten Manchester City within this mini
Absolutely.
rivalry. They have beaten them 5-1. That was the match where it was right after all of the hoopla of the first match with the Stay Humble, and then you
Yeah.
had Miles Lewis Skelly scoring and Arsenal running rampant. But yesterday, it was a tale of two things for me. Just like you said, it was a lot of mental gymnastics going on with the squad.
Yeah.
It was very, very tough. See, like even from the opening minute, Raya caught a back pass and almost immediately got it stolen by Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
And you could just see like the nerves are there, that they were tense. You could tell like the match was charged up, and you were hoping that a team that has gone through this challenge now 4 years in a row, coming
Yeah.
right now, this is the fourth year going second. Well, right now we're still first, but inevitably, depending on how things shake out on Wednesday with the game in hand that Manchester City has, it's a very strong chance that Arsenal is looking up at Manchester City for the rest of the season. Now, you would think that a squad that has gone through these challenges would be able to rise to the occasion, but for some reason, this squad is not. And this brings me to my second.
Yeah.
Arteta he's really he's really starting to show some very strong cracks within his
Ooh,
uh his wherewithal,
ooh.
his how he conducts things on the pitch within the Premier
Yeah,
League. Champions League, he has gotten this squad to two semifinals consecutively in the Champions League. That is huge for Arsenal, whose only other few, we made it in 2003, where we ultimately lost in the final. We made it in 2008, where we lost, and then these
who
last
did you
year,
lose to in 2008?
Manchester United beat us, and then uh, these last
Oh, you
two,
forgot 2006. No, 2006 was the final.
yeah, that was the final. That's what I
Oh,
said.
fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I
So
thought you said 2003.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, a little sorry, y'all. A little sick right now, so still getting the
Yeah,
things going. But this brings me to the second point. Like he's had great strides of success with the squad, and right now
agreed.
I'm just seeing
Agreed.
where the plateau is kind of hitting. My second point is the arrogance. We can all see
Ooh,
Zubimendi he's been kind of getting run into the ground. Uh,
yeah,
just try another midfielder, Miles Lewis Skelly, who would love that challenge. He's not a left back. Put him in as center defensive mid, let him rock. Maybe you don't want to do that within such a big match. You also have a former Brentford captain who is able to play that role. Declan Rice is kind of running on fumes as well. He's had multiple niggles throughout the season. And Martin Odegaard, his first match back, you can clearly see Max sharpness was not there for him. He was kind of drifting in and out. He was able to set up
yeah,
one gilt edge chance for Kai Havertz on a break, and the squad wasn't able to go. Now, as you said, it was a very fluky goal, but I still think Kai Havertz pressing, he is doing.
absolutely.
He did exactly what he
100%.
needed to do. Like, and
No, I
that's one
agree.
thing that I was yelling about the entire time. You see that Donnarumma is already faltering with the ball at his feet. Why are you stopping the press on the goalie? Like, what are we doing here? So I'll just the last point I'll say about Mikel Arteta's arrogance on this is you bought a striker this offseason and you bring him in on the 80th minute to be able to affect the match.
I I
I
don't
don't
understand
understand.
that one.
I
I
don't understand.
don't
I'll
understand
let you
that
go
one.
with that.
I don't understand. Look, and I always say we don't know what the coach is thinking, what the game plan is. Maybe the idea is to kind of have them, each coach has an idea of how the game's going to go, and that's why he's got Goku on the bench. 'Cause he's like, on the 60th minute, we might be needing a goal, and you're going to come whatever. I don't know, but the guy's been scoring essentially. I can't understand it, but look, I'm not a coach, so for us, it was hard to see that and then see him bring it on so late when you do need a goal for him. So I don't understand that. Maybe you forget. I don't know, but yeah, Eric, that was a puzzling one, and I can't have any football reasoning behind it. You clearly need a goal, even at 1-1. Like you need a goal, but I guess maybe he was playing for the 1-1. Maybe there was something that he wanted, was okay with, to get the 1-1 draw and play, and then bring in some holding midfielders as opposed to like trying to bring in a striker. And I can't think of anything. I
I
honestly can't.
I was just scratching my head, and the other thing that really got me was taking off the only player that gave a little bit of a dazzling display, which is Eze. Him taking him off after he had just hit the post in the
That was that
70th
was just
minute,
puzzling.
and you keep on Odegaard, and that goes back to me saying Mikel Arteta's arrogance. He's just like, hey, these are the guys that got me to this point all the time.
Yep.
I don't think that these two new players are going to be that strong. I trust these guys that much. That's what it said to me, and it was very bothersome because you can be stubborn, but to the point of insanity where people are paying money, people are buying merch out of the
Yeah.
wazoo every time it comes out. Like Arsenal is the culture club; it is a club for everybody. And
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay. Let's. You,
right now it's just going back to what's happening with Spurs back in the day with Mauricio Pochettino. You get really close a bunch of times, and you just don't get over the line. And I'm very happy with what he's been able to do. But after this match, I'd been a very staunch supporter of Arteta the entire time.
Yeah.
I was the one who would
And
always tell
now,
any of my Arsenal fans, hey, y'all just need to give him a chance, let him build what he needs to build. You're going to see really what he's going to see. Knowing that Luis Enrique is coming out, he's leaving PSG at the end of the season. Even if Arteta wins Champions League, I, I have to say, like,
if he wins Champions League, you were saying that's it. You still got to go.
well, if he wins Champions League, I say you run it back just because that'll be the first time in Arsenal's history that they won it. So you
Okay,
got to run
fair.
it back for that. But
So they want to fire Arnie Slot for this season. Okay, he won the league last season.
that's the thing. He
Do you
won. He won.
do you think that he should get fired because he won the league last season? Do you think there should be a leeway for that kind of shit? Come on, where
I
the dude won the?
well, Arne Slots, he won, and then he started bringing in his own players. Now he has a lot of bad luck this season. Mo
Yeah,
Salah just completely fell off the cliff. Virgil van Dijk, outside of his heroics yesterday in Liverpool's 2-1 win over Everton in the Merseyside derby, outside of
yeah,
that,
useless.
Virgil's not had a great season. Kanate, ever since he was twerking over for Real Madrid, he has not had a great season as well.
Uh,
As well, Isak, he just got healthy, but he's not to the level of player that we know who he is as as the former Newcastle star. Ekatike, he
yeah,
just got hurt and he was up and down this season. Kirkez was
he's out
not.
for the season.
Yeah, he's out for even longer because he had torn ligaments. He's missing the World Cup. Kirkez was not the left back that was promised, and Frimpong is a worse version of Trent as of right now. So Arne Slot, I think he does get another season because hey, he did win the league. Arteta, he is now 6 years into the reign. He's gotten the team ever so close.
Yeah,
But as a fan, watching a team continually hit the same wall at the same period of time. Remember, we spoke about this last week. Arteta has only won one match in April in 6 years, and that was against Sporting this
wait,
past
what?
2 weeks ago. Yeah, yeah. He hasn't won in the
Wait,
Premier
what?
League.
It's
He hasn't won. Yeah, he hasn't won in the Premier League. He hasn't won an FA Cup tie. He hasn't won. Like it's been that long.
wait, every year April or just this year?
No, it's been every year April.
So April's his bogey month, essentially. Like,
April, yeah. As somebody that is consistently getting you into these positions to win, April cannot be this bad. This is awful.
it's one of the most important months.
It's
So
the
Alex
most
Ferguson
important
used to
month.
call it squeaky bum. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the most important month because it if we are and my pain isn't from this match because I feel as though opposite of you, I feel as though Arsenal had a really good game. They actually played open,
Yeah.
comparatively to what we normally would have seen, which was Arsenal being able to set up in two rows, two banks of four, and just hoping and praying that it just stays 1-1. I think Arteta was going for that match. The thing is that his way about it was very much like these are my gentlemen. They've stuck with me through and through. Odegaard, Havertz, we're following you. Like that was what my mindset was.
Yeah.
But what I saw on the pitch was a way better reception for how you need to defend for like go for a title. What and like that was a battle. It was an amazing battle. Arsenal had a very strong period where they should have scored. Donnarumma made some amazing saves. Uh, City Donnarumma then makes up for his mess up. Throws it all the
Oh
way
yeah.
out. Amazing throw. Gets the ball all the way up. Quick tap in. Haaland beats Gabriel. Goal. That's all she wrote. But I'm more upset at the players for losing at home against Bournemouth because right now this match against Manchester City, even though it stung, it wouldn't have stung as much because you would have still at least had 6 points ahead of them, you know? But
Absolutely.
here we
Absolutely.
are. Here we are. So I'll give you final thoughts on this match and who you think is going to make it to win this season.
Dude, I think that's a hard one. I think with City's game in hand, I think you'd still be on top of them by goal difference. However, I think that it's really this is going to be the biggest test is this next game for you guys and in the league. I mean, because really it's to see can you get over what happened the last 2 weeks and that crumbling, and can you galvanize your team to really come together and do what needs to be done. I'm
Yeah,
hoping so, but you guys just don't do well in high pressure situations at the moment. um, and I understand that, but I think you will get it over the line. I think you'll just get it over the line. I believe you can still get a couple of wins in there. I think you are allowed to have a few falters. I think you might just be like, okay, that's it. We're not. That's it. No more. That's it. We're now serious. We want this. I
yeah,
think, like someone said, I'm hoping that there's going to be like some conversations to be like, yo, come on, come on, dudes are phoning everyone, being like, okay, let's give these guys what they need because clearly, let's give them the impetus, the mental fortitude, the belief, whatever they fucking need to get 4 games over the line. Four
yeah,
games. That's all we're asking for. So, can you do it for 4 cup finals? Yes, yes, we can. We've done it before in our minds, at home, in our gardens. This is what you live for. This is exactly what you live for. This is what you come to play this motherfucking game for. So I hope that these dudes can understand that and remember this is exactly why you want to be doing this. You do want to be challenging the last games. This is what it's about. So as a dream as a footballer, when we're playing in the garden, it's all about those last minute, those winners, those overtimes, those and this is what it is. We're in overtime now for football. We're in the last few minutes. So I think I'm hoping, believing that they have, you know, you know what I mean, Eric? I'm hoping that there's a psychologist who's like, on Monday, like today, they went in and they were like, okay, so we lost. So what? And then they get over that and they back onto training and they're laughing. Well, boys, we've got 4 games to fucking keep winning. If we win every,
five. We got
is it
five.
in your hands? 5. If you win all 5 games, do you still win the championship?
Right now it's going to go down a goal differential because at the end of this week, if Man City wins their game in hand against Burnley, they'll be level on points, and goal difference will be right now. Arsenal has 37 goal difference. Manchester City has 36.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so it'll be 21 wins apiece, 7 draws, and 5 losses apiece. It's coming down to the end of the season now. To your point, Arsenal's matches are going to be against Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. A crazy run in because right now Newcastle, Eddie Howe is fighting for his life. He needs to be able to stay. He's fighting for his football future, trying to stay manager of Newcastle. So you're going to see some
Yeah,
diabolical things happen in that match. But it's not at St. James. It's at the Emirates, so that gives Arsenal some help. Fulham has been a bogey team for Arsenal a couple seasons now.
yeah,
Marco Silva, he plays open enough where they can do a smash and grab. West Ham fighting for their life right now, fighting for their life in this relegation battle against Spurs for this last spot to go down. Burnley, maybe they're done, but they might play for some pride. Who knows? And Crystal Palace, at the end of the season, they're probably fighting for a cup right now. They are still within
yeah,
the UEFA Conference League, so maybe they sit their players, maybe not. We'll see. But with Arsenal's run of matches, and then you have Manchester City's run of matches, you have Burnley. Wait, yeah, you have Burnley. Then you
yeah.
have Everton. Everton's playing really strong, but you never know. Brentford, they're fighting for a European place right now. Bournemouth also playing for a European place. Crystal Palace, and they
Imagine.
finish off with Aston Villa. So anything's possible with these last run of games, but Manchester City, they've left it for this amount of time. This is the latest they've ever let it run before.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
No, it's
It's tough. They're heavily
Yeah,
favored to in all of these matches. Burnley, of course. You have Everton. That's going to be a tricky draw, especially because it's playing on Monday. Everton is fighting for a European spot right now over Chelsea. They're fighting with Liverpool to get it, even with that loss. Brentford, Bournemouth, tricky draws, but Manchester City, they'll be able to smother a game. They play too dominating, too domineering to be able to lose. Crystal Palace has been a bogey team for a lot of different squads over the years, Liverpool
yeah,
specifically, but
facts.
I don't know if they have enough against Man City. That might be the rest date, and then against Villa, you have. Two teams. Villa is staunchly within the top five battle. If any other teams get into that groove, we'll see. But Villa's at 40. Villa's at they have 17 wins themselves. They have 58 points. They're tied with Manchester United, which we're about to start talking about. So we'll see.
They,
You
yeah.
never know. Chelsea's looking like they're falling hard. So right now, that's Man United, Villa, and Liverpool. They're rounding out. So who knows? But right now, Man City has firmly put the flag back to be able to take over at the top of the table. We'd love to hear from our listeners about that. Please give us a like and subscribe. Algorithm, we need y'all to hit it. Algorithm, we need y'all to hit it. Algorithm, we need y'all to hit it.
Algorithm, we need y'all to hit it.
All right, y'all. Next match, we're going to be talking about Manchester United. I watched this match after the goal was scored. I was like, this is a nothing burger. Manchester United won, Chelsea nil. It was a very sad affair of game that I watched from Chelsea. It it really looked like they had no way to move forward. Garnacho completely marked out of that match. It was very crazy. So, TC, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I think look, two clearly, obviously, different teams fighting different trajectories at the moment. Chelsea having lost their last four in a row, confidence is low, and you can see that. I think it's very easy to jump onto one player to use as a scapegoat like Garnacho. Obviously, being a Man United fan, there's obviously some sort of resentment towards that, especially after when he came out and said that he was acting the fool towards the end. But you're right. I mean, Diego Dallo had him in his pocket. Luke Shaw, they all dominated that left side. I think the only the fuck up was Garnacho came on for the 18-year-old Estevez, who
Yeah,
was playing really well up until that
he
point.
was.
So I think yeah, so I think the difference is really was like in those two it was in that, and the fact that it's always going to be difficult playing against one your old team, two the team that you just currently your team doesn't have confidence against. Your team doesn't have confidence as itself. They have a lot of injuries, so yeah, it was a very start game. Although Chelsea did hit the post three times in that
They
game,
did.
so
Yeah, it
we got
was.
to say that it's not that they didn't have chances.
Oh, very,
Um,
very much so. But that was Manchester United's first win at the Bridge in 6 years. Like
Again,
that's a
that's the
big
other thing,
stuff
you know.
for Carrick. Really pushing to like get this manager interim off the plate and just say like he's the permanent manager. Like he has completely transformed your club. He has 8 wins. He ties Amarim's entire season of 8 wins before. Right now you're at
Well,
six.
I mean, like since he's been here, we've taken the most points out of any club in the Premier League, which I think in itself is quite, you know. So it says not to say if we had a beginning of the season we would be at the top, which we probably would be, but yeah, it's a great sign. I guess it just all leads into the conversation that we're all going to lead into. Are we also going for Luis Enrique? Are we going for, you know what I mean? So there's all these questions: is Carrick the guy, or what? You know? Um,
It's a strong sample size though. Like you have ever since losing that FA Cup match and him taking over from Darren Fletcher, it has just been a completely different team to watch. And I think it does help that he doesn't have to manage injuries as much between different matches.
yeah,
Right now, he only has to manage once a week. You know, that's not. It's not terrible. Manchester United only playing 40 matches this year. Not bad for like this entire charge right now. What I think people really want to understand is what this team is going to look like next season. It's going to have to be a lot more exodus. Xerxes, I saw him come on. Is he going to be gone next year back to Italy? You have Luke
No.
Shaw. Is he going to be staying on? Maguire, is he going to be
Yep.
staying? Like, it's a lot of
Yep.
different questions that are going to be taking place. I got to give a big shout out to your technical staff. You took two players from Arsenal, two youth players, Cheeto Martin and Aiden Heaven. Aiden
Aiden
Heaven
Heaven.
for a
How
million.
you sold that guy for
Oh,
$1 million is it just tells you what kind of idiots you have running your club.
well, it's because of FA rules. You can't charge too much for youth players, and it's
You
really tough
you
because
charge their value, my son. You charge their value.
well, I don't. I'm sure people thought a 17-year-old last year he was not going to get as much game time as he did, and wow, he's flourishing right now for your squad. Like he had a couple wild challenges early, but he is really looking like a very proper center back for Manchester United. So very scary to see.
Yeah.
It's how many game you guys have 5 matches left as well. Let's see. What are your prospects of matches looking like? You have Brentford coming up. You have Liverpool. That's a really big match. Sunderland at Sunderland. That's a difficult one. Nottingham Forest. They have a little bit more cushion, and then you finish the season at Brighton. So, what do you
It's
feel
not an easy running.
on the last run of matches?
Yeah. Look, I think we've had enough break to make sure that we can handle those because it's not that's not an easy running, right? Those are all like good, solid, well structured, balanced teams who can beat you any given day and have. So it is absolutely going to be an interesting draw to see what happens there.
For sure, yeah. I'm very excited to. I'm hopeful for Carrick. Like he looks like he's supposed to be the manager of the future for your squad. So let's hope y'all do not get Enrique and he's left open for Arsenal to potentially get.
I
And then
mean, I think you guys should. I think we should all just. I think you should stick with Arteta.
we'll see, we'll see. And then finally, I want to do some World Cup news just because I've been getting very, very upset about what's been going on with the state of American capitalism with this tournament.
You
Now,
mean in New Jersey?
yeah, the New Jersey line from Penn Station to the stadium for the World Cup for 8 matches, it is going to be jacked up to $100 per ride to from New York to New Jersey. Now, what their people are saying is it's to deal with the extra unencumbered uh, transit system that they don't want New Jerseyans to have to deal with. And what I remember is normally that line for NFL matches is $12, $23 for a round trip, and you gouge it all the way up to $100 per ride. Now, I understand it's the World Cup. You have an opportunity to give this open to everybody. This is everyone's chance to be able to see your how your state acts and reacts for 8 matches. And I'm very upset that it's $100. It's a 700,000 a 700% increase. That is insanity, and it just shows like the ridiculousness of what's going on. You can't even buy parking passes to the parking lot because FIFA's shutting
Yep.
down the parking lot. So you can
Yep.
only buy parking passes to the mall that is right next to the stadium, and even
And you know
there,
how much?
you
There,
can't
yeah.
find it. Those are $225 for a parking pass. So
Imagine.
you're telling people that how are they going to get there? Are they going to start walking across from the city? They're going to walk over the bridge, and then as well, you're essentially walking through some marshlands of New Jersey. So I'm not the happiest about how this is playing out. If I was able to go to a few matches, I'm certainly getting pushed to not do it that way. But the problem is, I
Yeah.
would like others that are coming into this country to be able to enjoy a match in one of the largest cities in the world and New Jersey. So it's just very upsetting to see that capitalism on display.
I mean, are you surprised though?
I was honestly a little surprised, but I've been seeing it all across New England with trains going out to Foxborough for the stadium out there. They're jacking up the price for all visitors. So I understand it. Like you have to take care of the extra load that it's going to put on the transit system itself. You have to worry
Yeah.
about people as well as the security for those places. My issue is when it's a 700% increase. I can understand a 200% increase because you're just like, oh, okay, you don't understand, but it's 8 matches as well as the final is in your state, and this is what the MTA is saying is going to have to do. So, and it's New Jersey
And
Transit.
what happens to regular New Yorkers who want to just jump on the Penn State, get on the train and go
If they're
that
going
way?
any other
Apparently,
line,
it's going to be locked out.
if they're going any other lines, it's still $12 for them. It's already
Yeah,
been yeah, it's already been assessed
apparently,
going back in out of the city. Like it'll still be $12 for them. So that's where the issue really lies. Is it's because that specific line to the stadium is only open whenever it's matches. It's never open during normal business hours. So I understand, like you're trying to create more security. You're trying to make it safer with the right people that are operating these trains. But 700% is insanity to me. So I just had to
yeah.
speak out about that right there. All right, TC, you got anything before we close out?
Yeah, I want to say this. I think, I think just on that last point, what we're forgetting is that the World Cup is supposed to be an inclusive, all encompassing experience. And I think we are losing a little bit of that in what we're seeing at the moment. Whether it's through the greed, um, the just, the insane logistics that people have to go through that you were just saying to get to games. Um, like to get to the MetLife, to get to some of the other games, unfortunately, is really just like against the spirit of what the games were. So technically, from what I'm hearing from a lot of people, is the rhetoric that we heard before Qatar about how it was going to be the worst games in the world because you weren't able to buy a friggin' beer.
Yeah.
People and what the data is showing is people feeling very much the same about this World Cup,
For a
and
country
you
that's
are not
supposed to
seeing
be very well suited to be able to host infrastructurally, it feels more of a crapshoot that this can even happen.
absolutely. Exactly. Like it's like I mean I don't. I mean I was part of. I was here for 2010 in South Africa, and a lot of infrastructure had to be put together in order to do that. Look, they built train lines to make sure that people could get. They built train lines. They built a train line from the center of the city to the suburbs. That's still operational now, specifically for that, so that because there was a lack of public transportation. So it's that kind of thing in which you World Cups usually do. I
Yep.
mean, everyone builds stadiums, they build cities for these things. And so, what has America really done to make this an experience for the consumer? And that's what I'm starting to struggle with. I honestly can't see anything that has looked like, oh yeah, check what they've done for the World Cup. You know what I mean? Like, not even the High Line has been doing anything jazzy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where like, have something on the freaking aircraft carrier. Shit, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen anything around that's been like, yo, we're doing this. We want to make it special for you. It's more like, oh, yeah, we're hosting it for you guys. Here you go. By the way, you're going to use our trains and shit. We're going to put more. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah. It
I don't
feels
think they understand. Exactly.
well, it feels and before we wrap up, like if it truly feels as though it's people are just like, oh, this is a nuisance more than it is an
Yeah.
opportunity. It really feels, and it
Yeah.
feels that way for the Olympics as well. Like what I'm seeing in these other places, people are getting very upset, and people are saying like it costs more to travel within the states during these times than it does any other period. Like it's easier for someone to fly to
Yes.
from LA to London than it is for
Yes.
someone to fly from LA,
That is
San Francisco right
exactly,
now. And that is an
and that's
issue.
fucked up.
It's it's
Exactly.
it's really sad. And right now, these companies getting a bailout, consumers are truly having to foot the bill for everything. So very upset,
Yeah.
but we talk about football and everything else is ancillary from here. So want to thank everybody for giving us a listen to Them Boys Watch Footy. Truly hope everybody had a great weekend. It's your boy E. It's your boy TC. Have a good one.
Peace